What's up, guys? I have a few errands to run, and then I'd like to go clean up some more of the streets at night. Go to a different area. We've got Hightown cleared out first this time, and this time maybe we'll head to, I don't know, LowTown. Whatever, we still have LowTown in the docks, and they should each have their own version of nighttime thugs harassing people. So, go take care of that. Get paid for it by that lady at the hangman. That's always good. Seems like each time we go on even some little menial side quest, we pick up something to deliver to somebody, which is a good steady flow of income in the game, really. So I brought Isabel along, see if I could pawn off any equipment she might need before I sell it, and level her up, just because. Haven't had her around in a while, so she should have a few points to spread out a little bit. Yes, too, actually. You know, I was thinking, with her around, one of the advantages of having another rogue around, when you do have another rogue around, is their ability to throw the Chameleon's Breath and keep me obscure, and that's really going to play into my build later. Although I won't have another rogue around most of the time, shamefully enough. Basically, as you know, when they throw Chameleon, there is some passives, and I believe it's my Shadow Tree, that as long as I'm obscure, basically every attack is a critical. Whether that be ability or basic attacks or whatever, and you know, the obscure effect lasts a while, and I think there's another passive which makes me obscure coming out of stealth for a short period of time, which, you know, I mean, even when I don't have another rogue around, that really does you know, play into things. But having her around to throw around Chameleon's Breath, and the cool thing is if I assign her to basically just under any condition, just, you know, cast it on me. If I'm near someone like Anders or even Aveline or whatever, it makes them harder to hit also, because it has something of an AoE effect, kind of like you know, the miasmic flask or something.
This fell into my hands. Recognize it?
Simple as that? Just a walk and drop? Amazing.
Some of these items that we pass along are of questionable legitimacy, so to speak. Yeah, I would question their legality. Whether maybe we should even be passing them along or not, but get paid for them. Good XP. And we're finding that stuff just everywhere. Seems like everywhere we go, we find some new thing to bring back to somebody.
About what? Anything? Everything? I can't figure you out.
The past's past. I learned that young. If it can't bring you gold or giggles, what's the point in dwelling on it?
Maybe the chance to fix a mistake? Make things right again?
Eh? Our mistakes make us who we are.
That was almost profound.
Yeah, Anders is always trying to figure you out so he can manipulate you. He always wants to know what makes you tick so he can stick the knife in when he needs to, or, you know, stroke your feathers when he needs to manipulate you and persuade you and twist you and pervert you and stuff. You know. It may seem like maybe I'm always looking for excuses to pick on Anders. Well, it's just a shame that I don't have to look far, because they're always like in your face. Yeah. Right, so 3 spiders for 250 XP. I'll take that all day long. In fact, they could do that to me 100 times, and I'll be just fine with that. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Actually, that sounds like a dragon. Alright, so this is a crafting item that we would not have gotten if we weren't looking for these tomes. But this is the last of the evil tomes, I think, that we need to find. Well, there's one more, but it's like in the main boss area. It's what basically all these tomes lead to. The power that Taroni, I guess, was drawing from. The demon-y powers that were behind, you know, the possession and whatever of all these Templars that they were kidnapping and stuff. So we're running around destroying these books. The reason I don't have Meryl along, by the way, is that she strongly disapproves of destroying these tomes. She feels that perhaps making a deal with this demon that has these blood mages doing this is a good thing, which I'm not sure why she leans so strongly that way. Lore-wise, I just don't really get it. So, anyway, you know, one thing about Isabella, if she doesn't get out of the way... Oh, wow, okay. No, couldn't do anything about that. She needs to backstab. I think I need to reconfigure her to backstab. You know, I think I have her set to backstab anytime she's getting melee attacked, but that's essentially the one thing the dragon's not doing. Yeah, he caught her full in the face with fire. That's fine. Let me get the aggro off myself. I'm glad I saved stealth. One more shot ought to do this. There you go. Sorry, Isabella. Yeah, I need to get her to where she backstabs all the time. She has really no business facing anybody. That's the thing. Going toe-to-toe being... I mean, I know she's a duelist and all that, but she definitely works better from behind. Well, that didn't even sound right, considering we're talking about Isabella. But anyway, yeah, backstabs and staying out of the enemy's face. Obviously, you know, she's not a tank, so... might be able to get her defense up pretty much to where she can be kind of tanky. You know, instead of taking lots of hits, she's just kind of not getting hit at all type of deal. Maybe. I don't know. I'll experiment some with this. You know, I think if I do a warrior playthrough, if I do just go ahead and play a warrior character at some point, I might experiment with running with Isabella instead of Varric and see how that works. It's going to be a strong melee-based party. I don't know. So we've got a new little combination of enemies here. Lots of melees and a revenant. Something to be said for letting the mages kite these enemies around just a little bit and getting in behind them and doing your thing. Sometimes it's hard to catch them from behind. You wind up doing just basic attacks trying to catch up, but still. Keeps the enemy off the mage and keeps them dying while they're not killing the mage. That'll work for me. I like it when it goes down like that, but when you just have mobs, it's hard to keep track of who's attacking who. Sometimes it gets kind of just turns into a big cluster. Alright, so our next update I think will be in DogTown. And that's something, well, if I got a whole bunch of resistance runes and things on right now, we could probably go mess with it. So, I think I'll save that for a little bit later.
How are you so successful with men? You're not that pretty. Cast a wide enough net and you're bound to catch something. At least you're willing to admit it. Trust me. I've heard, "Get away from me, you pirate hag," more times than I care to count. Doesn't that bother you? Why should it? They don't know me. I know me.
Yeah, something to be said for that. You can get an opinion all day long from anybody. A lot of times it depends on, it has no reflection on who or what you are. It's just how they're feeling that day. People are quick to spread the hate because it's easy, you know. It's hard to actually show some care or concern or understanding for somebody. People aren't so quick to do that, it seems. Doesn't it take like 100 more facial muscles to frown than it does to smile or something like that? I think I read something like that once. Anyway, Isabella has the right idea there. It's like, why should I care? That's them, you know? Doesn't have anything to do with me. Alright, so let me take this opportunity to get rid of some junk. The more of these I sell, the more I'll pick up, type of thing. And get rid of all that, although maybe keeping an injury kit might be nice to have on hand. Keep mixing up the party here. So, I think we're pretty much done here, because once again, if that Raiders on the Cliffs quest would have updated, we'd have a big flag down there showing that it's active again. Be able to complete it. I hope this act just kind of washes it out and it doesn't come back to bug me later. It's kind of bothering me a little bit, actually. Sometimes these things, if left unchecked or unfixed, will definitely come back to haunt you later. Alright, now one last check. I don't think the merchants really update type of thing. But for some reason, I'm 99% sure I checked this guy. I just wanted to look real quick. Yeah, nothing. Okay, just had to see.
About knowing who you are.
Better safe than sorry. It's one thing to be sure you did something, but you actually didn't, and you don't go back to double check, and you find out you really needed it later. Some particular item you didn't go get, or some little tiny side thing that you didn't go do, or someone you didn't talk to, you know. And I did buy a holo figurine from the Elven merchant some time ago, so let me turn that into Meryl. Earn some brownie points with her.
I've got something for you. Ooh. Did you get this from Master Island? Mythal, did I miss some important occasion? I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
There's no occasion, Meryl. I just thought you'd like it.
I do like it. I'm sorry I'm making a mess of this. No one has ever given me a present before. Useful things. Tools or clothes. Because I needed them, not just because. Maceranis, I'll find a good place for this.
Apparently, sentimental stuff isn't highly valued amongst the elves, at least amongst each other.
Such a mess when people are here. It's clean sometimes, I swear.
They're all about getting all emotional about, you know, the ancestors and the old ways and, you know, all that stuff, and they're very, very vigorous about all that, but when it comes to just sentimentality or simple kindness between each other, they seem to be more, you know, a lot stiff, a little more utilitarian, like, you know, yeah, I don't give this to you because I like you, I give this to you because I need it. Or even if I do like you, I pretend that I'm only giving it to you because you need it, type of thing. We'll just keep that military front up, you know. We're serious, we're solid, we're, you know, severe people, you know, we're not to be taken lightly. And I mean, I guess I get the defensive posture, but it seems like they hold it amongst each other also, as a whole, as a society, you know. Now, you know, maybe less so the city elves. City elves, geez, that's just a mess, because they don't really have anything to fall back on except for just really a lifetime of, you know, slavery, mislabeled as servitude, you know, in the city slums and stuff like that. They seem to, it's kind of each man for himself down there. They really don't have much connection with each other or the old ways, really. They have this tree as a token symbol of something that they probably, you know, long forgotten in their minds, or that they never really knew in the first place. I guess any city elves who'd grown up in the city from birth, who had never experienced the Dalish, much less any of the old lore or any of that, they would be completely removed. Might as well be human or, you know, non-elf. I guess, yeah, that's just kind of crappy. We saw when we went to go help Fenrir when Marithari came into the alienage, you know, there was a lot of sorrow looking at the tree and looking what it had become and realizing this is just a nothing existence here, you know. And imagine if Solus were to walk into this. I mean, Solus is already embittered, so actually Solus would probably come in and just, you know, kind of scoff it off and say, yeah, I figured, you know, this is where elves are, this is where they're headed, this is what they become, type thing. Marithari was, I believe, genuinely distressed by it. They did really good on showing her face expression and stuff as she comes in, and she had her regal bearing as, you know, her identity as, you know, the Dalish keeper, and at least in her own mind, true to the old ways, at least as much as they can be. And then coming in to see, you know, at least racially, her kin, having completely not only just lost their way, but being at the absolute beck and call of everyone around them, and not being their own people whatsoever, just, you know, servants. Like, it's just a shame. But, you know, honestly, if you go look at the chantry, from a human perspective, okay, yeah, we're not talking about the forest and we're not talking about the trees. We're talking about religion and politics and what we might consider worldly matters and our arrogance as humans, looking down on the elves. But we look at our chantry and how far we've lost our way, and how much religious doctrine and politics have taken place of anything resembling the truth or actual history. We've lost our way just as much. The humans have, and probably those truest to their traditions, even though they're probably the youngest of the races, as we know today, would be the Qunari. Because they stay with their Qun thing, and either you're the Qun or you're not. You know, it's pretty simple. I doubt they've strayed much, but I don't think they're near as old. I don't think they've had near as much time to stray as, you know, humans and elves, and maybe even dwarves. Although Dwarvens are pretty serious about their traditions too. They probably haven't changed a lot either, actually. I guess as far as the older races go, they would probably be the truest to their traditions, because they've always been about, you know, politics and screwing each other over, apparently. I mean, back since the first Paragons, and I guess that's their first recorded history. Of course, here in Dragon Age 2, we find the Ancient Tig, and it goes way back before that. Whatever dwarves were before they were dwarves, talking about something totally different, and even the dwarves don't know about. They don't. They're writing, you know, their Shapewrits don't go back that far. The Shapewrits only go back as far as they, I guess, picked up a pen or picked up a chisel and started writing in the stone, so to speak. You know, so I would really like history at some point, even if it takes. I hope it takes several installments of Dragon Age. You know, I don't want it all in one more game. I mean, I do, but I don't. I do, but then if I got it, I would be sad, because then that would be it. The story would be told. You know, if you don't have anything left to guess about and talk about and argue about and you know, any theories to come up with and stuff, then it kind of takes some of the fun out of it, honestly. So I don't mind them keeping a lot of it vague. You know, in the real world, our history isn't a whole lot less vague, honestly, in a lot of ways. I should really be concerned with the archers, not the melee guys. These dog lords here, their archers are just as serious as the Templars or anyone else. And there's a Mabari over there messing with Anders too. Old Bob Snarly down here, drawing the hate and keeping it. I see ya, boy. Good dog. Yeah, these dog lords just don't know we have dogs, too. That's right. What's interesting is you have the big two-handers here. I don't know if the archers play into that, but the only real association with packs of Mabari would be the Ash Warriors. These don't resemble Ash Warriors in any way, unless they were displaced Ash Warriors or something. But I just noticed the big two-hander guys, you know, that kind of leans towards, you know, Berserkers and stuff. And the Ash Warriors kind of having that whole fighting style, along with, you know, being notorious for having their hounds, you know, basically watching over the dogs too. What do they call it? Being branded, I think? When they basically bond with their master and, you know, imprinted, that's it. Apparently the Ash Warriors are big about that. Wonder if Mabari naturally imprint to those who have the Berserk ability. Never seen any Mabari down in Orzammar, so the original, I guess, Berserkers, the Dwarven Berserkers, never seen them with Mabari. Although, if you play a dwarf, you can get a Mabari. I mean, you can have your dog in Origins. He'll imprint himself to you, so I guess maybe it doesn't really make a difference. I don't know. Never like seeing the Founder here. This is a place of bad tidings here. Not a good spot at all. Does not bring back good memories. Okay. Looking around, trying to yeah, there we go. I'm trying to bait a spawn here. These are really good times to save. These things can go downhill fast and in a hurry. And the archers are serious business. Not as bad as Inquisition, but in numbers, kinda. I mean, it may take 2 or 3 of these guys to do the same work as one archer in Inquisition, but damn it, for every archer in Inquisition, there is about 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5. Here, sometimes. There's one quest, I think it's in Act 3, and it's involving a Templar, and it's the sheer number of enemies. Just, you can only take so many hits at once, and when you've got, like, 13, 14, 18, or 20 archers shooting you all at the same time, armor and all that other shit, it doesn't make any difference. Unless you're Aveline, you're not going to just sit there and take that. It's insane. Alright, so good deal. We still got some stragglers somewhere, I think. Maybe, well, I hear something. Hello? Are you there? I can fall at hello? Somebody there? One stray puppy. There's another one. There we go. And another one. Tell you what, if killing them too fast causes a delay in the spawn like that, I'm cool with that. I'll take that every time. I am mostly concerned with crafting materials. I mean, I'll take these crates if they want to give me money. I'll always take that. But the biggest deal is getting the crafting materials for the XP. Like I say, if I'm never going to use them, although there's a potion you can make at the end of the game. It's a one-time deal and it's good for a level. And if you save it till the very end to where it takes so much XP to level that you know you're not going to get another one, then to go ahead and use it, it's worth more than its weight in gold, honestly. Because I think you get into the, I don't remember how much XP you need once you get into the 20s, but I mean it's a lot, you know. And I mean, even though you get some bigger chunks for completing quests and stuff up there, still, there's a point where you realize you're not going to level again, most likely. And so, I mean, if you're right up there at the end, if you're about to level, might want to try to squeeze some XP out of something. I'll even go so far as to revisit every area in the game, day and night, just to see if I can get something to spawn. A random mob, pick up a codex I missed, maybe a crafting material I missed somewhere, just something, you know. I believe there are 1 or 2 extra crafting materials. Like say, there's only supposed to be like say 5 elf fruits, but I think there's like 6. So if you did miss one of 1 or 2 different things, maybe you might still get all of them, so to speak. But I still like finding every single one, obviously. Go ahead and check back in here. Man, if I do another playthrough, I'm sure I'll do another playthrough of this game at some point. I'm going to make sure to check that bar day and night every time I come in here. This is honestly the very first time I've ever looked back there that I can remember. If I've ever done it before, I totally forgot. That was a surprise to me. I'm like, damn, you can get back here? Really? Okay, the reason I pulled in here, I'm going to come and take advantage of the merchant, is to get the guys out there to respawn in LowTown. You know, once you make a complete circle and they stop spawning, if you haven't gotten the main leader, then just leave the map, whether it means go into, you know, the pub or the Blooming Road, wherever you're at, you know, just leave the map somehow. Either go to a different area or go into a, you know, a room or a house. Fenris's mansion works. Meryl's house works, whatever. Also, it's good to remember, if you can, where the boss is going to show up last. So, like, let's say you weed everybody out, and the town stops spawning mobs on you, and you still haven't run into the boss. Then, when you leave the map, come back, and instead of making a beeline to where the boss might be, go to some other places, like this right here, and you might get a respawn in an area where you've already fought a mob before, or you know, you get some other mobs to spawn. Before you actually get to the boss, to the main guy who drops the note and lets you know where the base is at, you know? So that's what I'm going to try to do right here. I'm trying to remember, seems like the final boss shows up in a little cubbyhole side of the map. So I'll pretty much make a circle from the other side back around and see if we can't get a few more of these to spawn just like this. One big problem I'm having right here is I'm still using the armor I had from Act 1. It's really become obsolete. It's about half what the average armor would be right now. But one more level, I have an armor sitting in my box for level 17, and it looks decent. It looks like something I can probably finish Act 2 with. So I'm thinking I'll just, you know, I'll just wait it out. I mean, if I die a couple extra times here and there, whatever. As long as we make it through type of thing. When I don't have DLC stuff, I usually switch out gear as I get it. I just kind of pick whatever until I find an item that I can actually put a rune in for a particular event, like going to the deep roads, putting in lightning resistance. I'm going to keep that, but then usually as soon as Act 2 starts, the first piece of gear I pick up is, you know, beats that armor rating by, 40, 50 points, maybe more. And so even though it may not have a rune slot, it's much better than what I've got protection-wise. And I can go ahead, I won't need that particular element protection for a little while. And then when I know I'm going to go do something like, the Gauntlet, that one cave, the Dwarven Ruins up there in Sundermount, or the Gauntlet here, from the Evil Tomes, was Zebenkek, or however you say her name. That's so brutal, it's ridiculous. The order of their spawns and the enemies they throw at you, it's like several bosses at a time, and then mobs, like 20, 30 shades, 2 lieutenant grade rage demons, and all this type of shit. And it's like, wow, okay, that's just ridiculous. All right. So here we go, and I guess because we came out of Meryl's house the first time, then these guys didn't spawn on us, right? So we can come back here and we can get a mob that we otherwise probably wouldn't get. Kind of what I was saying. If we go beat the boss in LowTown right now, and then go take over their base, then we can miss out on this. Archers again. The harder you hit somebody, the more attention you draw. So essentially I get heat just from hitting that guy next to this other guy so hard. And I drew all 3 of their attention like that, and I don't have anyone over here to draw the hate. If Aveline was a little closer to me, she could probably draw one of their attention, but yeah. And that's where things can go really bad. Anyway. It's all good when you win, though, right? Alright, so that's another one down. Hopefully we can get maybe 1 or 2 more on the way over here to the other side of LowTown, but that's becoming pretty profitable. And then once all this is said and done, once we go take over their base and show their main boss who's boss, then we can turn it in and get a bunch of bonus XP there and a couple gold, and shit, it's all good. And here we go. Now, see, I think we already fought one here, and so we get a duplicate. It's nice. As cool as these axes are, and as hyped as I was about them at the start, I'm really missing my Dalish daggers, too. I think I'm going to keep these, but I want to go get some Dalish daggers. I really do. Just because they look so badass.
That's right, you heard me.
Let's see, I could have waited up there at the stairs and drawn these archers back. Probably would have been the wise thing to do. But since we have the archers out, though, well, all but this guy, essentially I could sort of kite these melee guys around, the dogs and stuff. Kite them a little bit. There we go. Nice. Yeah, 300 XP a pop. So missing just a couple of these, that's 900 XP. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot for the game. Seeing as there are some like small quests you can do that aren't worth that much, you know. So yeah, it really adds up. Anyway. I think we're probably down to our last spawn. If I was really trying to min-max, I would go off into the hangman right now and go back over there to the alienage and see if I couldn't get just maybe 1 or 2 more. That seems to work best with the guard pretenders in Hightown. They seem to like to give you a couple extra mobs to mess with. Alright, I think this is the last one. If I recall, this is where the last, I guess their lieutenant spawns. Yeah, I think that's their main guy right there. He probably hits the hardest too. Actually, these archers probably hit the hardest. I'm gonna take care of them. And then we get the spawns dropping on the ceiling. See? You might think you're kind of cool around the corner, and then they'll drop right on top of you. I used to bitch about that. I was like, wow, that takes away from the immersion of the game. And then I realized that's by design. That's to tactically maneuver and position your team, or, you know, understand the spawn spots. If you try to play more of a no-pause style like I do, understanding where they're going to come from and where you need to go. To either head them off at the pass or whatever, you know, so. I think Aveline can take it for a minute, you know, type of thing. Get the heat off the mages and get back to your tank, and pretty good. There we go. Hometown breed. The dog lords, or whatever these guys are. I think when we get down to the docks, we get to check in on, what's his name, Bonnie Lim, or whatever, and check his shop and see if he's got any really cool, useful stuff for us. Seems like he has an amulet or something that I probably won't buy because my cunning's way up there, but it seems like when I'm playing a warrior and I run with Varric, I do buy it for Varric. It's either an amulet or a belt or something, but it raises, I think it's bonus to lockpicking and trap detection, disarming. I think it gives a bonus to both. But anyway, it's great for Varric because I can put, you know, a few more into like willpower, constitution, and dexterity for Varric. Okay, this guy. Okay, he hits really hard. I'm gonna go ahead and take him out. We'll go ahead and get him out of the picture, and then we'll worry about whoever else. Oh, no, that's not good. Take that, you asshole. That dude's a beast archer. Oh, we're gonna get a spawn up here, too. There we go, right there. And I need somebody to draw the hate of these friggin' archers off of me. Yeah, it's turned on me. Okay. I think just, there you go. Sometimes it's just a matter of who gets to hit who last. I'm the only one really hurting right here for the time being. That main archer guy, I think with him, he just hits really high criticals. It's like everything's a critical, and all of his criticals are pretty massive. There we go. Alright, let him go over there and worry about the next guy. Stealth immediately sheds hate. Although sometimes when archers are already about to shoot at you, when the animation's already registered or whatever, then they'll get the shot off anyway. And sometimes knock you out of stealth too. Yeah, things usually go to shit right there. That's usually it right there. I think these Mabari are kind of immune to cold. And we lost Anders. God! Well, I think Aveline's a super tank. Archers, just, yeah. It's really not doing anything, is it? You die, dude. So apparently it's not just the dogs, but the these guys that are immune to, well, not immune, but at least resistant to cold.
My goodness, that was exciting.
Yeah, it was, I guess. That was a lot of enemies. So if they dropped the good stuff. Oh wow, that's pretty cheap for a boss. 22 silver, really? Okay, well, I feel ripped off. Guess we'll run around and loot the place in a second. And more archers. I'm gonna take these archers out real quick before we do anything else.
Making the world a better place, one enemy at a time.
Alright, let's get this guy off our mage. There we go.
That's enough.
Take that. There we go. Nice. The next bonus XP for that, and then bonus XP for turning it in. So, yeah, these are definitely worth doing. If you think if they're worth anywhere from 1,500 to 4,500 XP each gang at night, and there's, what, 3 gangs per act? So this, you're like talking about 9 gangs that probably average out to about 3,000 XP. Once all said and done, I think the ones in Act 3 are worth quite a bit. Each mob is like worth 450 or something, 500 maybe. And then turning it in is worth, I think, 1,000 a piece for each gang. So considering you Act 1, Act 3, kind of the difference there. And several thousand each gang. And then, oh, what, 2 gold for each one. And I think then once all said and done, then you get a bonus of 5 at the end or something. And you get a weapon that you can sell and or use. And so, I mean, yeah, it's like way worth it just following it out through the whole game. What's funny is there's just no end of criminal groups to deal with. I mean, it's like, shit, these are just some unnamed random thugs. And, you know, don't count the friggin' Templars and the official actual Carta itself. And then you have the Red Raider, you know, the actual mercenaries. And then you have the mages, Mage Collective, or whatever the Mage Underground is. And, I mean, lots. Just, is anybody honest? Is there even one good man here? Is this just straight up Sodom and Gomorrah right here? That's a shame. Alright, get a quick cure to an injury. Anytime you go to replace a party member, you get everybody's instantly healed. So rather than use an injury kit, you can go sell it. Though sometimes I use them anyway, I'm not thinking, but... Alright. Now along the way there, I did find this book, Book of Shartan, down there in the alienage. I guess it's, what, LowTown at night. Just sitting in a sack or something. But, give this to him. This is great for brownie points.
I have something for you.
It's a book.
It's a subject you're familiar with. The book is by Shartan, the elf who helped Andraste free the slaves. You know about him, right?
A little. It's just... slaves are not permitted to read. I've never learned.
It's not too late to learn, Fenris.
Isn't it? Sometimes I wonder. I don't mean to seem ungrateful. I do appreciate the thought. I've always wanted to learn more of Shartan. Perhaps this is my chance.
I don't really see why that's a flirt option, because isn't that something a friend could do for a friend? You see, he hasn't read. He's probably never really received gifts as such. We're giving him kindness just freely, and why not help him to read, help him to grow, you know? But yeah, why would he expect that? You know, he's never gotten this before, so... Anyway, alright, so we got one glitched one. I'm not sure where the sketchy guy is. I think it's kind of like a hidden base for him. But we might clear up one more streets at night, and then maybe get on a main quest, or vice versa, something like that. But there you go. Work's cut out for us. All right, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. For the rest of this Let's Play up to this point, click that image there in the middle. And until later, you guys take care. All right, see you on the next one. Bye-bye.